Yo, 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 what up, y'all? It's your boy Rob coming back at you once again with another live stream. So before we get started, you already know what to do. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the bell icon twice. Smash the like button, share this video out to all of your followers, and let's get into it. All right. So, what we're going to be talking about today is coronavirus, the big, scary C19. You know what I'm saying? And we also are going to be talking about some things with monkeypox. We're going to be talking about the big O. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to be talking about, quote, and I quote, the power of D. All right. So now my question for everybody that's watching this stream is, do you have any idea whatsoever about what I'm talking about? If you do, spill the beans in the chat. If you don't, listen closely, Richard. Listen closely, Richard. We got my man Carlton Way in the building. What up with it, bro? We got Catsy in the building. What up with it, Catsy? So let's get into this, all right? As you guys come in, make sure that you guys smash that like button. Also, make sure that you share the video out. Make sure you guys watch the videos as they show up on your home screen. Also, click the links at the end of the videos. Watch them all the way through to the end. You guys know all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? We got Carla Lockhart in the building. All right. So let's check it out. 2 new hospitalizations tied to the big O. You guys thought this was an X-rated stream. Sorry to disappoint you. We're talking about Big Olaf ice cream. All right. There's this thing called listeria that's been causing some issues, and it's been linked back to this Big Olaf ice cream. All right. So we're going to check that out. So now here it says 2 additional people have been hospitalized during the past month in connection with a listeria outbreak that's been traced to Big Olaf Creamery, officials say. As of August 2nd, a total of 25 people infected with listeria, and pay very close attention how they spelled it 2 different ways. All right. You see how they have listeria right here, Lysteria, and then right here, Listeria. Monocytogenes have been reported from 11 states. 13 sick people are Florida residents. 10 reported traveling to Florida before getting sick. Uh-oh, Richard. We got some dirty ice cream. We've got some dirty ice cream, ladies and gentlemen. What do you guys think about that? Shouts out to Val. Now, how many people heard about this? If you guys heard about this, go ahead and give me a thumbs up in the comment section. If you did not hear about this, well, welcome to Listeria. You know what I'm saying? The ice cream was sold or served at Big Olaf retailers, restaurants, and senior homes in Florida. And in one location in Fredericksburg, Ohio, the CDC said on its website, all flavors, lots, and expiration dates through June 30th of Big Olaf brand ice cream products were voluntarily recalled. So if you guys have eaten Big Olaf ice cream, I'd beware of it. You might mess around and get sick. Okay. On July 13th, state officials shut down all production of Big Olaf ice cream after 9 environmental samples collected at its facility on Cattleman Road in Sarasota tested positive for listeria. Uh-oh, Richard. Uh-oh. That's not good, is it? That's not a good thing now, is it? Shouts out to my man AB. My man AB says, who uses the word bucko? Who uses the word bucko? You know what I'm saying? It's a good question. Illness started on dates ranging from January 24th of 2021 to June 24th of 2022. Sick people range in ages from less than 1 year old to 92 years old. So this truly doesn't discriminate. Of 25 people reported ill, 24 have been hospitalized. 1 woman has died. her family filed a lawsuit against the company. Uh-oh. The suit claims Mary Billman died days after her family says she had ice cream at Big Olaf's Creamery, Bahia Vista location. I've never been to Bahia Vista. A second lawsuit was filed on behalf of Kristen Hopkins of Massachusetts. This suit claims Hopkins, who was pregnant at the time, ate Big Olaf ice cream at a wedding in Clearwater and became violently ill afterwards. Oh my goodness, causing her to miscarry. Damn, that's fucked up. Big Olaf has released a single statement about the situation shortly after the listeria was discovered. Here it is. Here it is. You ready for it? Sounds exactly like the police. Pay very close attention. For now, it is only speculation as it is an ongoing investigation. Our brand has not been confirmed to be linked to these cases. I am not sure why only Big Olaf is being mentioned and targeted. The original report we got from the Florida Department of Health on Friday, July 1st, was that there were 23 cases reported. The first one was reported on January of 2022. 6 out of 23 patients mentioned having consumed Big Olaf ice cream, but nothing has been proven. We have been cooperating with the Florida Department of Health, FDACS, and the FDA as soon as we were informed about the situation. We have been transparent and we have answered all of their questions and provided them with all the information requested from us, as the health and well-being of the public is our first priority. That's bullshit. Your shareholders are your first priority. Miss me with the dumb shit. Miss me with the nonsense. Please stop insulting our intelligence. Okay. Katsy said her protein drinks are being recalled. I hope you don't drink the same type of protein drinks that Lauren Boebert drinks, Katsy. Those are known to make you sick. If you're a guy and you drink those kind of protein shakes, you might mess around and get interior monkeypox, which, from what I've heard, is painful. You know what I'm saying? If you guys haven't heard about the kind of pain that interior monkeypox causes, you might want to catch up on some of the streams on this channel. You know what I'm saying? Some pretty graphic descriptions. Okay. So next up on the docket is, for whatever reason, somebody just randomly decided to do a fact check. Premier Protein. Premier Protein. Yeah, that's what they all call it. You know what I'm saying? That's what they all call it. No, I'm just playing. Oh man. So look at this. We got two big pictures of Pfizer, BioNTech coronavirus vaccine, and Moderna coronavirus vaccine. We got a nice, juicy, non-retractable syringe. These are the most unsafe kind of syringes to use, the kind that they have in this picture. So if you have a choice, never use that kind, okay? You always want to use a syringe that retracts so that you don't poke yourself. Katsy says she deserves all the shit that she gets for that combo. Listen, I just hope you don't get monkeypox. You got to be careful what type of protein you ingest these days. It's killing people out here. Oh, shit. All COVID-19 vaccines were tested on animals, and there was no safety concerns, medical experts say. I don't know what kind of safety concerns would you expect if you're testing it on an animal? No humans were harmed in animal testing of COVID-19 vaccines. Okay. All right. Anything else? When is the last time you heard of a human being harmed during animal testing? You ever, I mean, I'm sure there's been some cases where like lions and bears have gotten loose and mauled people, but I mean, aside from that, have 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 you heard anything? Has anybody anybody heard anything like that? Pfizer, BioNTech, Moderna, and Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccines were all tested on animals and had no significant safety concerns. Fact checkers at Reuters and USA Today report. Okay, thanks. A Pfizer media spokesperson told Reuters that the pharmaceutical company published a press release about the effects of their mRNA vaccine in mice and non-human primates. And there was no safety concerns. Oh, thank goodness. I'm curious if the animals involved signed an informed release. You guys think that they did? Sheesh. Moderna and Johnson & Johnson also released similar information per Reuters. And here's the article that we'll be checking out from Reuters. Okay, here's another. We're using this looks like a tuberculin syringe. This only holds 1 millimeter, this syringe that they have here in this picture. Why don't we fact check that, Reuters? Fact check if that's a tuberculin syringe or not. Because if I'm not mistaken, I'm not sure how the Pfizer or BioNTech or Moderna or Johnson & Johnson vaccines are administered. Usually, most vaccines are intramuscular. That syringe in that picture doesn't have where you can unscrew it and put on a IM syringe, and it looks like that's a sub-Q syringe. So while we're fact checking the article, can we fact check the picture as well, Reuters? Somebody let me know in the comment section, what's the administration method of the COVID-19 vaccine? Is it IM? Is it sub-Q? What is it? Let me know what it is, because what I'm curious about is why during a fact check, if this is indeed an IM injection, why we're using a TB needle. That's interesting. Shouts out to my man Ulaw in the building. And real quick, ladies and gentlemen, shouts out and thank you to all 7 people that we have watching. If everybody can smash that like button, that would be awesome. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you guys go ahead and hit that bell icon. So that's interesting. Here's a word of advice. If you're giving medicine, always give it via the proper route. Always give it via the proper route. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what it is that triggered that fact check about COVID-19, but Reuters, for whatever reason, they felt the need to make sure that they provided everyone with some COVID-19 education for the day. So I guess we should all thank Reuters. You know what I'm saying? We should all thank Reuters. So here it is. Fact check. COVID-19 vaccines did not skip animal trials because of animal deaths. Did somebody make this claim? Or did they just decide we're just going to tell the public that? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Posts claiming that COVID-19 vaccine producers skipped animal trials due to the animals in those trials dying are false. Pfizer, BioNTech, Moderna, and Johnson & Johnson, which have been granted emergency authorization by the Food and Drug Administration in the United States, all conducted animal trials and had no significant safety concerns to report. Examples can be seen here. Some posts include videos of a hearing by the Texas Senate, and the text had a COVID jab. They skipped all animal trials because all animals were dying and went directly to people. Texas State Senate, May of 2021. Okay. So for all the YouTube people and all the artificial intelligence and everybody that does their due diligence to make sure that they cancel videos like this, please bear in mind that I'm referencing an article, and this article is referencing the Texas State Senate. The clip in the post came from a Texas State Senate hearing on May 6th of 2021, visible here. So we should check this out. You guys want to watch it? Let me know, because your boy is running on very minimum random access memory. So, you know what I'm saying? Let me see what they got here. Oh yeah, we ain't watching all that's we're not watching all of that. That shit is long as hell. That shit is long as hell. We're not watching that shit. The Senate discussed Bill 1669 about prohibited discrimination regarding vaccination status and mandates for receiving or participating in administration of vaccines, authorizing administrative penalties. At the 44-minute and 22-second mark, Texas State Senator Bob Hall begins questioning pediatrician Angelina Farella about the C19 vaccines skipping animal trials. Hall says that animal trials were skipped due to the animals dying, and Farella says that she agrees. These claims, however, are false. Reuters found no evidence of the 3 COVID-19 vaccines skipping animal trials due to the animals dying or otherwise. Now, my question is, did they find evidence that there were animal trials at all? Was that evidence found? That's my question. Because more than likely, there's no evidence of anything. Unless there was a court order, I'm pretty sure that none of these pharmaceutical companies would allow intimate access to the specifics of the trials and experimentation that was done in order to get the COVID-19 vaccine into production and into public distribution. I highly doubt it. So my question is, okay, did we find anything? Is there evidence going either direction? More than likely, no. So all of this, in my opinion, if you read this and ask the proper questions, it's all speculation. And real quick, ladies and gentlemen, we got 6 live viewers. Shouts out and appreciate all 6 of you. If everybody can smash that like button, we'll have 13 live viewers. Or I'm sorry, 13 likes. So help your boy out with that. Remember, we got that goal of 100 likes per video. So smash that like button and help your boy out. So now here it says the FDA has so far authorized COVID-19 vaccines produced by 3 companies, Pfizer BioNTech, Moderna, and Johnson & Johnson for emergency use in the United States. Emergency use authorization in the United States has been issued as a result of the severity of the pandemic. When the pandemic is over, vaccine manufacturers will need to apply for a full U.S. Drug Administration approval here. Now, here's my question. Why don't they have that pending? Shouldn't they be doing that currently? Shouldn't that be going on concurrently? I mean, like, does it have to be paused? And real quick, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not sure if Cameron Jones is in here, but shouts out to Cameron Jones for joining Patreon. Patreon is definitely the way to help the channel become independent so I can update you guys more frequently and with better quality information and produce some side projects. You know what I'm saying? So if you guys enjoy the content for this channel, you can directly support the channel by hitting the link in the comment section for Patreon. All right. So now here it says a Pfizer media spokesperson told Reuters via email the claims are false and linked to a September 2020 press release about the effects of their mRNA vaccine in mice and non-human primates. They also pointed to a peer-reviewed February 2021 paper on its vaccine working on primates here. Moderna has released similar information on these links right here, as has Johnson & Johnson. An FDA spokesperson told Reuters via email that the claims that the vaccines had skipped animal trials due to animal death was untrue. None had significant safety issues to report in their respective animal trials, as seen under 5.3 non-clinical studies section of the EUAs for Pfizer BioNTech here, Moderna here, and Johnson & Johnson here. So this article has these actual reports. So what I'm going to do real quick, ladies and gentlemen, for people who want to do further investigation, I'm going to put the link in the chat. Okay. All right. The link to this Reuters fact check is going to be posted right there. So if there's anybody that wants to check out any of this information, all you got to do is just hit that link that occurs right there. All right. Shout out to my man Jay Bird. What up with it, bro? Also, if you guys are not subscribed to the C19 Report social media, make sure that you guys hit the about page of this channel, and also make sure that you hit the description box, because the associated social media with the C19 Report is different from all the other Blacklight Revelations. So just make sure. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says, due to time constraints and urgency to find a vaccine for COVID-19, Moderna and Pfizer did receive approval to run animal testing and early trials on humans at the same time, opposed to fully completing animal trials before moving on to human trials. So pay very close attention to this, okay? This, however, does not mean that animal trials were skipped or that the safety of vaccines were compromised. My question is, what is the usual order? And what is it contingent on? Because I'm not sure what the requirements are. Oh, that's what's good. Math is important, bro. Math is one of the most important subjects a school can teach. You know what I'm saying? Reuters fact check has debunked false similar claims about the safety and trial of the COVID-19 vaccines approved by the FDA for emergency use here, and here. Verdict. All right, so here's the verdict, because we're the jury in our own trial. So that's why there's a verdict right there. We're the jury in our own trial. So that's why there's a verdict right there. You know what I'm saying? False. The COVID-19 vaccines produced by Pfizer, BioNTech, Moderna, and Johnson & Johnson did not skip animal testing due to animals dying. The article was produced by the Reuters fact check team. Read more about our fact checking work here. I'd rather not. So what do you guys think? Fact check. COVID-19 vaccines did not skip animal trials because of animal death. What I think is that the order in which research and rollout occurred did not take place in the usual fashion as a result of the emergency authorization. So I believe that some steps in the research and development process might have happened concurrently, which means that the usual steps didn't take place. So my question is, if we remove the phrase skip animal trials because of animal deaths, would that change the verdict? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. And seeing how I phrased that as a question, last time I checked, you were still allowed to ask questions. And until questions are answered, you can't associate them with an opinion one way or another. So, you know, I'd hate to have to appeal and win again. You know what I'm saying? But things happen. How many people in here know about the power of the D? That's my question. I'm sure most of the ladies do. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully the guys only know the power of their own D. You know what I'm saying? There's a study that shows that COVID has a sensitivity to the power of the D. Sorry to disappoint you guys. Vitamin D. Vitamin D deficiency is linked to severe COVID. This is an article from February 8th of 2022. Catsy in here telling on herself, talking about, yes. Sorry to disappoint you. You know what I'm saying? February 8th of 2022, people with a vitamin D deficiency are more likely to have a severe or critical case of COVID-19, according to a new study published by the journal PLOS1. The study is based on data from Israel's first two coronavirus waves before vaccines were widely available. The scientists stressed that vitamin supplements aren't a substitute for vaccines, but that they can help immunity levels. So now here's what needs to be asked. Vitamin D can naturally be gained by exposure to sunlight, right? Last time I checked, vitamin D can be linked to exposure to sunlight, right? Shouts out to my man Harrison over there on Twitch. My man Harrison on Twitch says, "Yo, Rob, what happened to your YouTube feed? You got to come to Blacklight Revelation C19 report." Let me see. I'm going to try to get you the link real quick. While I'm getting this link for Harrison, if you guys can give me a thumbs up on the video, that'd be great. So give me 1 second here. Give me a second. And of course, the computer's not cooperating right now. Let's see. Maybe it'll cooperate. Nope. Of course not. Let's see. We got Robin Ann Battle in the building. What up with it, Robin? Good to see you as always. Yeah, here we go. We got this taking all damn day. Harrison, just go to YouTube and find Blacklight Revelation C19 report, and you should be able to come in and comment. So now here it says, we found it remarkable and striking to see the difference in chances of becoming a severe patient when you are lacking in vitamin D. All right. So now this is what I want to ask you guys, and I need you guys to help me out with this. All right. I need you guys to help me out with this. My question is, do you all think that COVID-19 lockdowns contributed to therapeutic levels of vitamin D? Or do you think that lockdowns could possibly contribute to decreased levels of vitamin D? When it comes to the big D, what did lockdowns do is my question. Did they do anything? Is there any effect significantly? Do we know? It would, to me, be common sense that activities that restrict your access to sunlight might not really be facilitating vitamin D production. They just might not. Now, I want Reuters to go and fact check that. You gonna debunk that? Is Reuters gonna debunk that? I'm just saying. You know what I mean? Just saying. So now here it says this is compared to when you're not. Okay. Emil Dror, MD, led the study, and a doctor at Galilee Medical Center told the Times of Israel. Okay, we're back. We're back. Hold on real quick. Gotta love when StreamYards is bugging. Gotta love that. You know what I'm saying? All right, so let's see. We gotta go back to the damn article. Ah, there we go. There we go. Okay. All right. So now here it says what we're seeing when vitamin D helps people with COVID infections is a result of its effectiveness in bolstering the immune system to deal with viral pathogens that attack the respiratory system, he said. This is equally relevant for Omicron as it was for the previous variants. So now here's my question. How come people aren't encouraging people to increase vitamin D? Is there any sound? If you guys can hear me, give me a thumbs up. If you guys can't hear me, give me a thumbs down. Shout out to my man KO Kid Fit. What up with it? So now here it says the research team looked at vitamin D levels for more than 250 patients hospitalized at Galilee Medical Center with positive COVID-19 tests between April 2020 and February 2021. The vitamin D levels were based on testing conducted before the hospitalization as part of routine blood work for vitamin D deficiency, ranging from 14 to 730 days before positive PCR tests. Patients with a vitamin D deficiency were 14 times more likely to have a severe or critical case of COVID-19. What's more, the mortality rate for those with insufficient vitamin D levels was 25.6% compared to 2.3% among those with adequate levels. So now what does this say about the relationship between COVID-19 and vitamin D? What does this say about the relationship between COVID-19 and vitamin D? And how come people aren't talking about this? The differences still applied after researchers controlled for the patient's age, gender, and history of chronic diseases. Health officials in several countries have recommended vitamin D supplements during the pandemic. While data was sparse, the Times of Israel reported. Recent studies have pointed to the links between vitamin D deficiency and severe COVID-19 and hospitalization, though researchers wondered whether the coronavirus caused the deficiency in the first place. To answer that question, Dror and colleagues looked closer at the data among Israeli patients to get a better picture of their vitamin D levels before COVID-19 infection. We checked a range of time frames and found that whenever you look over the 2 years before the infection, the correlation between vitamin D and disease severity is extremely strong, Dior told Times of Israel. The emphasis of the value of everyone taking a vitamin D supplement during the pandemic, which consumed insensible amounts in accordance with official advice, doesn't have any downside. Okay. Well, let's look at it this way. People are made to be outside. When you do things that you're not made to do, you tend to get some type of health repercussion. Monkeypox, cough, cough. Just saying. It's kind of common sense. When you do the shit that you're made to do, shit works right. When you don't do the shit that you're made to do, shit works wrong. Monkeypox, cough, cough. Just saying. So, what do we got next? What do we have next? We have some mayo splaining. You guys ready for it? We've got some mayo splaining. Let's see what's going on here. Told you it was mayo splaining. Can vitamin D protect against the coronavirus disease in 2019? Now, how do you answer that question to not get your channel banned? The Israeli study showed that vitamin D helps to improve your immune system function. End of story. So there's that. There. How is that for a YouTube safe answer to that inquiry? I told you. See? They even have their own clinic as far as Mayo goes. You know what I'm saying? Mayo-splaining medicine. You know what I'm saying? The Mayo Clinic is one of the best clinics in the United States. You know what I'm saying? Can taking a vitamin D supplement prevent infection with the virus that causes the coronavirus disease of 2019? Prevent infection. Now, when they ask these kind of questions, it's very interesting, right? I wouldn't say that. That wouldn't be my claim. What I'd say is that vitamin D can enhance or improve immune function, and that gives you a better chance of having a more effective immune response. That's what I'd say. I wouldn't say something, quote, can prevent. It's very important how people answer and phrase questions and how people answer them. So now here it says there isn't enough data to recommend use of vitamin D to prevent infection with the virus that causes COVID-19 or to treat COVID-19, according to the National Institute of Health and World Health Organization. Several recent studies have looked at the impact of vitamin D on COVID-19. One study of 489 people found that those who had a vitamin D deficiency were more likely to test positive for the virus that causes COVID-19 than people who had normal levels of vitamin D. So see, this is telling a very interesting story, and it's also telling a slightly different story. However, both stories are related to vitamin D and vitamin D as an indicator of COVID-19. What do you guys think about that? Not too many people are talking about that. Jimmy Dore put out like a 70, Jimmy Dore, I should say, put out a 7-minute video about it a couple days ago. I thought it was pretty interesting. You know what I'm saying? Other research has observed high rates of vitamin D deficiency in people with COVID-19 who experienced acute respiratory failure. These people had a significantly higher risk of dying. And a small randomized study found that 50 people hospitalized with COVID-19 were given a high dose of a type of vitamin D, which is called calcifediol. Only one needed treatment in the intensive care unit. In contrast, among the 26 people with COVID-19 who weren't given calcifediol, 13 needed to be treated in the intensive care unit. All right. So now what it shows is that there's nothing proving that vitamin D can prevent COVID-19, but it's definitely showing that there is indeed a link. There is indeed a link to COVID-19. Vitamin D products. You know what I'm saying? So now my question is, why do you think that people are not capitalizing on that? Why do you think that people are not talking about that or saying anything about that? And real quick, ladies and gentlemen, we got 14 likes and we got 12 people watching. So shouts out to all 12 people who are watching. If everybody smashes that like button, we'll have 26 likes. So look at this. In addition, look at this. In addition, vitamin D deficiency is common in the United States, particularly among Hispanic and Black people. Now, I find that fascinating. 'Fascinating. 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 ' that people who actually have melanin in their skin, people that are actually built for outdoor outside exposure genetically, allegedly somehow have a vitamin D deficiency. So you mean the people that do not have any melanin in their skin and people who are genetically built for indoors have more melanin in it or have more vitamin D? I'd like to see the details of that study because that's a bold claim. These groups have been disproportionately affected by C19. Vitamin D deficiency is also more common in people who are older, people who have a body mass index of 30 or higher, and people who have high blood pressure. These factors also increase risk of severe COVID-19 symptoms, which we knew that people with a lot of comorbidities have an increase in COVID-19. And I got to agree with Cassie. There's no money to be had selling vitamin D. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're a gigolo. You know what I'm saying? Then it depends on, you know what I'm saying, skill level, different things like that. It could be kind of lucrative if you get with the right bachelorette planning, bachelorette party planning organization. However, in recent years, two randomized clinical trials that studied the effects of vitamin D supplementation had less hopeful results. In both trials, high doses of vitamin D were given to people who had vitamin D deficiencies and were seriously ill, not with COVID-19. Vitamin D didn't reduce the length of their hospital stays or their mortality rates when compared with those given a placebo. Further research is needed to determine what role, if any, vitamin D and vitamin D deficiency might play in the prevention of and treatment of COVID-19. In the meantime, if you have a vitamin D deficiency, talk to your doctor about whether a supplement might be right for you. If you're concerned about your vitamin D level, ask your doctor about getting it checked. Now, I want to address this as well. As far as, quote, Black people and Hispanic people being having high vitamin D deficiencies, the only reason why all other groups of people other than white people have any deficiency of anything is because of socioeconomic conditions that are created in the United States. If you recall, as the world was coming into civilization as it is today, white people were dependent on indigenous groups, which would be basically African Americans, Black people, and Hispanics to save them because it was them who was susceptible to disease and couldn't deal with the harsh terrain. That's historic. That's one of the reasons for the false holiday called Thanksgiving, because they were so thankful that somebody saved their ass from the harsh conditions of the United States. So when it comes to any of these healthcare deficiencies, none of these healthcare deficiencies are genetic the way that they want to talk about them in the media to make people who aren't white feel less than. They're because of socioeconomic conditions. So the way to deal with these healthcare issues is by economic power, being able to afford a good diet, as well as knowledge and education, understanding what foods to eat, understanding what exercises to do. So all of these conditions are because of conditions created by the United States, not because of genetic inferiority as they'd like to have you believe. That's one of the reasons why they just stop right at the end of those sentences. See? In addition, vitamin D is common in the United States, particularly among Hispanic and Black people. These groups have been disproportionately affected by COVID-19. Doesn't go on to explain why vitamin D is a common deficiency. So there's that. If you ever pay close attention to the way that any kind of healthcare disproportionate issue or anything like that is ever framed, it's always framed to make non-white people seem as if they're somehow not equipped to live, which we all know isn't true. But what I find fascinating is that Ron DeSantis, you know, he didn't push for any legislation to protect people's feelings from how that might make them feel, because he's the feelings guy. You know what I'm saying? So makes you ask the question, do all feelings matter? Right? Since we're asking about if everything matters all the time about everything. Just food for thought. U.S. declares monkeypox a public health emergency. Here's what that means. Did you guys know about that? That the United States is declaring monkeypox a public outbreak. Now, I don't know what's going on here, but this looks like some people in a trap house about to shoot up some dog food. You got my man in the flower shirt right there. You know what I'm saying? Homegirl with the pink hair. Yeah, this definitely looks like some trap action. I don't know if this is a healthcare setting or not. This this could be this could be an episode of Miami Vice. You know what I'm saying? This could be an episode of Miami Vice. I don't know. I don't know what this is. Oh man. What do you guys think? What's going on right here? Is this a is this a trap house or is this a vaccine site? They got the ambient pink lighting. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. He looks like he's about to nod out. She flicking the vein. Look at her. She about to flick the arm. She flicking it. So that vein comes up big and beefy. You know what I'm saying? She about to flick it. She about to flick the bic. Oh shit. Let's see what they talking about here. We already know about this. Oh, this guy, his name is Corey Hawkins. He's about to get a monkeypox vaccine on July 17th in Chicago. I was close. I said it was the trap house. Turns out they're in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? So I was close. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says on Thursday, HHS Secretary Xavier Becerra declared monkeypox a national public health emergency. The announcement comes 12 days after the WHO declared monkeypox outbreak a global emergency. Vaccine supply is limited and more than 6,600 cases. Remember, pay very close attention to those 66s. Everything is a damn 66, isn't it? You guys notice that? Pay very close attention. Have been confirmed. On Thursday, the federal government declared the national outbreak of monkeypox, which has been spreading almost entirely among men who have sex with men, a public health emergency. So I think we need to change how we talk about this. Remember when we did the opinion piece that Vox wrote and they were upset because everybody is calling it men who have sex with men? We need to refer to this as the sexual network. You think, are they going to come out with a movie about that? You guys remember that movie, The Social Network? Are they going to come out with a movie called The Sexual Network? I don't want to see it if they do. You know what I'm saying? I won't be doing a review on it. Yeah, you can get monkeypox not through sexual activity. That's possible, Carla. Remember, you can get it through contact. The main method of transmission that's spreading it so rapidly is men who have sex with men. That's not the only way. You know what I'm saying? He's on the Fauci ouchie. Looks like she's plugging for a vein. I know, right? Looks like they about to kick it. They about to do some kicking it Hunter Biden style. They about to party like a Democrat. You know what I'm saying? When somebody gonna come out with a song called Party Like a Democrat? Democrats always getting caught nodded out, pants down, drugs all over the place all the time. That sister had monkeypox on her mouth. Yeah, I'm interested in that. You know what I'm saying? But and my thing is she saying that it wasn't through sexual activity, but is she an epidemiologist? How does she know how she got it? Is she a virgin and has never had sex? Did she have recent sex? Sometimes you can't really take everything for granted, especially when patients say it. You know what I'm saying? It was all on her chin. Oh, God. I had it all on your chin. Oh, Jesus. We're prepared to take our response to the next level in addressing this virus. We urge every American to take monkeypox seriously, to take responsibility to help us tackle the virus. What do I need to take responsibility for as far as monkeypox goes? I've been talking about it. I've been saying who was spreading it the most, and I definitely ain't contributed to the spread. So what the hell do I need to take responsibility for? What are you talking about? Take responsibility. Anybody need to take responsibility. It's the lab in Denmark that had magic monkeys that disappeared from there and then magically started spreading the shit in Africa. And also, maybe they need to put some padlocks on the doors of those European boy brothels where everybody is splashing around in sweat and leg hair, spreading it. That might, that might help. Possibly a travel ban on London. But that's just unheard of. So, that won't be happening anytime soon. News of the expected declaration was first reported Thursday by the Washington Post and subsequently the New York Times. I think that when it comes to the liberal media, the only media that liberal media pays attention to is other liberal media. Because despite the fact that the New York Post is another white media outlet, the New York Post and the Daily Mail break a lot of stories way before Washington Post and New York Times. Way before, consistently. You know what I'm saying? So, just pay very close attention to these media reviews. You know what I'm saying? By designating monkeypox a public health emergency, the White House will be able to utilize emergency funds to fast track testing, treatments, and vaccine shipments. I have no doubt that this is going to improve the federal government's response, David Harvey, executive director of the National Coalition of STD directors, told Insider. However, I did not hear an explicit mention of STI clinics who are on the front line of the response right now. We need emergency resources allocated yesterday. That's because this entire time you all failed to acknowledge the fact that this does spread sexually. Maybe she used a dirty towel or dirty bed linen. Yeah, or maybe her man is funny, and I ain't talking about a comedian. You know what I'm saying? Maybe her man is funny, and I'm not talking about his jokes. What do you think about that? So now here it says, since the first monkeypox case was diagnosed this year in mid-May, more than 6,610 cases have been confirmed. Many public health professionals believe the number is likely much higher. The Biden administration's declaration comes 12 days after the World Health Organization deemed monkeypox a global emergency. Now, here's my thing. Why is it that Biden does what Democrats do all the time? Why is it that if a global organization does something, then Biden with his dumb ass follows? Democratic states do something, Biden with his dumb ass follows. Can he think on his own? Can he think at all? Despite some disagreement among panelists, WHO Director General Dr. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus acted as the tiebreaker, saying the rapid spread of the virus required urgent action for all member states to act together in solidarity. Solidarity, in my opinion, is one of the most dangerous things out there. I bet you there's a solid ball of men rolling around somewhere right now that's spreading monkeypox. So there's that. Just just rolling around like a cat playing with a ball of yarn. You know what I'm saying? All together like Voltron. You know? Sheesh. So now here it says a public health emergency declaration makes more funds available and lets the CDC access more data. So now you got to pay very close attention to this. Lets the CDC access more data. That basically means intrusion. That basically means, well, now we can have access to more of your information. Now you're going to have to put your information on everything. Now we're going to be able to peek a little bit closer into your healthcare information. We can see what kind of relationship you're in. You see? Now, if the LGBTQ people wanted to stand in solidarity, as they say, with everybody, you know, with the cisgendered people, or as we like to call ourselves, straight or heterosexual people, you know what I'm saying? What they'd say is, wait a minute, this is setting up a situation like the Patriot Act. This is setting up a situation like what people were upset with C19, people's healthcare records and information being out there. You guys might find that they're asking questions about your relationship. You see, most people want their business private. But when it comes to the LGBTQ community, it seems like the LGBTQ community wants everyone to know about what they're doing sexually. Me personally, I don't. I'm not a porn star. You don't need to know what the fuck I'm doing. You don't need to know who I'm doing. You don't need to know what I'm doing. But the LGBTQ community, they want everybody to know what kind of sex they did, who they're having sex with, what kind of sex acts happened, what kind of fluid exchange went on. I mean, they're just totally transparent. They may as well build glass houses and hire a steam cleaner so that the walls, when they're all fogged up, everybody can just see right inside. Some of us don't want that kind of transparency into our lives. Well, we have an intimate network of male sexual partners. Okay, that's nice. You know what I'm saying? Everybody doesn't want to talk about that shit. Everybody doesn't feel everybody needs to have that kind of information. The LGBTQ community sit up there saying, well, we can't talk about who and what we're with. You all talk about who and what you're with and what you're doing more than anybody else. Most people don't do that. Most people don't want people in their business like that. But this sets up for where the government can easily access information that could and should and would be private. There's a lot of heterosexual people who keep the intimate information about their relationships in the closet. It's the LGBTQ community that praises coming out of the closet. That shouldn't be imposed on everybody else. I think that should be taken into consideration. So now here it says the HHS secretary has the discretion to declare a public health emergency in the event of a major disaster, infectious disease outbreak, or attack. Doing so allows the government and health agencies to cut through bureaucratic red tape that can slow down access to treatment and testing. For example, a public health emergency declaration permits measures including the Food and Drug Administration to authorize tests and treatments at a faster clip than usual, putting them through a fast-tracked review process, access to no-year funds, i.e., money that is exclusively reserved for emergencies, to fund research and contact tracing, and coordination between federal, state, and local agencies. Now, that's interesting. No year funds, huh? Now, here's my question. Did you all know that there was a such thing as the no year fund? Now, I wonder how much money is in the no year fund. What do you guys think? How much money is in it? Anybody know? The Center for Disease Control and Prevention to request more data, look at this, from local health networks to get a better sense of the spread of the disease. So that means you're going to be being tracked more precisely. Many experts have voiced their concerns that this declaration is overdue. The first monkeypox case was detected in Massachusetts in mid-May. Within a month, there were 150 confirmed cases. 1 month later, the CDC had confirmed around 2,000 cases. 2 weeks later, that number exceeds 50,000 cases. It's about time, Harvey said. This declaration is late. Trying to make vaccine supplies go further with dose sparing. I don't know if you guys were aware of this, but they decreased the dose necessary and changed the administration route of the monkeypox vaccine. We talked about that in one of the streams that we did before. The U.S. is racing to increase its supply of Jynneos, a smallpox vaccine that works against monkeypox. According to Becerra, 600,000 doses of Jynneos have been administered, while millions more doses have been secured. Getting them through local health clinics is taking time, and vaccine appointments are getting booked within minutes. Did you all know that we had that many potential monkeypox victims here in the United States? Appointments for vaccines are being booked in minutes. How many people were aware of that? If you guys were aware of that, give me a thumbs up. If you're not aware of that, give me a thumbs down. So now here it says one technique the HHS hopes to trial is called dose sparing, administering a fifth of the dose into the skin so 5 people can be immunized with 1 dose. You know what I'm saying? They doing it like how certain people do their vehicles and homes. People be putting a whole damn neighborhood in a little 1-bedroom apartment. Just the same shit, but just with a vaccine. This is done by sticking the needle within the skin to create a pocket where the vaccine goes, FDA Commissioner Robert Khalif explained on the call. HHS is working with the FDA on whether to allow this approach, with a decision expected in the next couple days. We're at a critical inflection point, Khalif said. The goal has always been to vaccinate as many people as possible, he said, which I find interesting because, in my opinion, the goal should be to prevent the spread. Don't you guys think that the goal should be to prevent the spread? He said, adding that they are working as quickly as possible to significantly increase the number of doses available. Khalif said he is confident that administering the shot this way triggers a robust immune response and that healthcare professionals nationwide are capable of doing so, since the technique is near identical to a PPD skin test, which, if you guys recall, that was the tuberculosis skin test that I was telling you about, which is routine in U.S. healthcare settings. See, it's a transdermal, a subdermal, actually, I think. And they give the technique to do it right here. Monkeypox public health emergency declaration of it. We're familiar with phases, but the game changer, game changer. US FDA, Dr. Khalif, FDA, is announcing that 1 dose of Jynneos might be split into 5 doses by injecting intradermally versus subcutaneous. So they're really going to be making a lot of money if they charge per dose. They're really going to be making a lot of money if they charge per dose. So now here it says Dr. Kativa Patel, a primary care physician, said on Twitter that injecting in this way might trigger a more efficient immune response, and that it is a strategy that is used already for some rabies and tuberculosis vaccines, but it is also possible that it could result in less efficacy. Now, here's my question. They say that it might trigger a more efficient immune response. Okay. My question is why? Why? Why would it trigger a more efficient immune response? What's the justification for saying that? Does anybody know why that would be? Because I don't. You know, I've never heard anything that would support that. So is there anybody that knows why that would be? Scientists at the National Institutes of Health are hoping to answer that very question with a new study, but it won't be finished until November or December at the earliest, as Stat reported on Thursday. If there is evidence for the effectiveness of that, then that would be a strategy to stretch the available vaccines. Harvey said, while also emphasizing that men who have sex with men deserve to have the best regimen of vaccine possible. I think that people who get it from partners that don't disclose that they're involved with men having sex with men should be the people that get it the most and get it first. Surprise monkeypox cases should get it first. Because if you're continuously spreading monkeypox, you're not practicing safe sex. You're not being considerate. Also, if you're cheating on your partner with a man and you get it, you're also not being considerate. So why should you get anything before anybody else? Shortages are just not acceptable, he added. Anything less than full effectiveness of vaccine doses treats gay and bi men and MSM as second class citizens. So then, how do we judge the response to this then? Did the response to this treat them like second class citizens? If you engage in risky activities that you know could contribute to your self infection as well as the spread of a disease that's a national and global emergency, are you treating yourself like a second-hand citizen? What do you guys think? So now here we're talking about how monkeypox symptoms can vary, and I think we've already symptomed ourselves out on monkeypox symptoms variation. We all know what the symptoms of monkeypox look like, how they appear. All right. And we also already knew that the US has declared monkeypox a public health emergency. And we also know what that means. So, ladies and gentlemen, my question is, what do you guys think about all of this? It's a lot to take in, but if you take it in, just make sure that you're wearing protection. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. If you're not subscribed to the channel, you already know what to do. Make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you hit the bell icon twice. Make sure you watch the video all the way through to the end and hit the links at the end of the video and leave a comment with your opinion after the stream. All right. Peace.